back, no need to stress. Technical glitches, they'll put them to rest. Customer queries, they'll handle with care. Partner programs, expertise to share. Call, text, and chat, the choice is yours. PPT support opens many doors. Carrier pigeon, that's a funny notion, but hey, they'll help you cross any ocean. Feeling lost, don't know where to turn. PPT guides, got lessons to learn. FAQs, tutorials, knowledge galore. Empower yourself, learn even more. Community forums, connect and thrive. Share your insights, help others survive. PPT supports a vibrancy. Together we grow a powerful team. Call, text, and chat, the choice. There's no opens many doors. Carrier pigeon, that's a funny notion, but hey, they help you cross any ocean. So next time you're stuck, don't hesitate. Reach out to PPT, it's never too late. Find your way to support you need. With PayProtect, you'll always succeed. Call, text, and chat, the choice is yours. PPT support opens many doors. Carrier pigeon, that's a funny notion, but hey, they help you cross any ocean.
And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nate Manahan, and it is time for another Office Hours, where we are going to not just cross the ocean, but cross the world and bring all of our trainers from PayProtect together. It's the Olympics time. We're recording this on the last Friday of the Olympics, so I thought I should make sure that you know that I bring the gold medals to our best trainers in the world. On the left-hand side of the screen, someone who just came off vacation, and we missed her last week, Jenny Rickle. Jenny, how are things up in the mountains of Colorado?
You know, things are fantastic. I just came back from a very hot vacation. It was like 100 to 105 degrees. And I just love Colorado where it's like 90 degrees. So I really appreciate it. And there's no place like home, right? Wherever that is for everybody, it's just nice to come back to your space, your area. So I love being home. I love coming back to work. It's great to be here for sure.
It is. And it's that time of year. My kids started school last week. And Mike, I believe in the first time I've ever heard this, my kids started on a Thursday last week. Your Warsaw are getting 1 day in before you need a vacation and get 2 days off. Friday for the first day there in Warsaw, Indiana. Yep. Mike Stetzel, how are you, Mike?
They are starting today, and then they have a late start already on Monday. I talked to somebody, I think in Texas the other day, whose kids start today, and then there's a teacher work day on Monday, and they don't have to go back till Tuesday. So I just keep telling people that this gets my kids out of school on the Friday before Memorial Day. So however they did it, I love that. Summer can start early.
Yep, we get our long vacations and still get out before. I enjoy this new schedule versus the back when I grew up, always starting up after Labor Day. But everybody's got an opinion. But it's that back to school time, and it's that kind of back to business, and a lot of things are going back in, and sometimes you just need a little support. So today, it's all about trying to figure out if you have a question and need support, yourself or your merchant, what do you need to know? And so I'm going to start with this, and then I'm going to ask Mike and Jenny how they train on it, who they tell, all those things. I'll probably put some scenarios in there that may stump them. That's my goal in the next 10 minutes or less. But we start at where you can find support. So let me actually back this up. Like we always say, we go to mypayprotect.com, and on the right-hand side, we have the phone number for partner support. We have a way to email partners at PayProTech, and then we have this little link that'll take you over to the main PayProTech side and a list of a variety of ways and certain things that you may need for support. So we're going to start with this. Jenny, can you define for us, a lot of times, and I showed in our chat over here, it's one way you can get it, and we'll give you a phone number. We often talk about technical support and customer support. What's the difference between technical and customer in our world?
Oh yeah, the way that I define that when I'm determining which direction to go is it something physical that's going on with the machine, right? That's going to be technical. So whether they're using Pay Anywhere and they need to change a setting in it, or they're a deja vu and the printer's not working or anything. So anything with the physical equipment that they're utilizing, they're going to need to contact technical support. Customer support is going to be anything in the background. So looking at transactions and any information for that, if deposits have gone through, if there's a chargeback, if there's a funding hold, that's all going to be to start out with the customer support area. So that's the way I definitely define it. And always just remember that if you do have any issues and you get routed to the wrong area, we'll get you to the right place. But I always would go technical support, equipment issues, customer support, transaction, things in the background with money and things like that.
And one of the things we try to do and make it easier is to give you things like here, you can see on the chat on the right side, where it's giving you the phone number and it's asking you which piece of equipment, because that differs based on whether you have Ingenico or Valor or Pay Anywhere, what phone numbers, what emails, what chat you may use. Mike, let's start with some of the basics, the ones that we deploy out of our own offices and not using third parties or connecting to that, which are Valors and Deja Vus. What do they need to do, Mike, for that support?
In most cases, we are the first level of support for the Deja Vu and the Valor terminals. So in that case, you would call our partner support number and ask for help with your Deja Vu or Valor. There's a few guys in the office that handle that. In off hours, we recommend calling the Deja Vu and Valor technical support numbers because they're open all the time. They have people on call at night and weekends that can help solve technical problems. If you need to change a tax percentage or how much we're passing to the merchant or something like that, that does have to be done in our office. They will not change file builds on our behalf.
So let's talk specifically then, Jenny, I'll come over to you on, let's talk Pay Anywheres, Ingenicos, any of those devices. Is it one support? Are there different support lines when it comes to technical support, when it comes to Ingenico and Pay Anywheres?
Those are going to go directly to North American Bank Card technical support. So back to what Mike was saying, if you just need to change the tax percentage, or again, maybe there's just a communication error or the printer's not working of any of those devices, Pay Anywhere, Ingenico, anything other than Deja Vu or Valor, you can contact North American Bank Card support line.
Yep. So, and that North support will be able to, they'll answer at merchant services. If you're a branded partner with us, they're probably going to expose some what we call gray label, and but they're going to get you that support that they need and be able to do it quickly. One of the things I should probably back up, the first line of support, if you just don't have any idea where to go, you can obviously call us, but I believe there's one fast way of get the fastest, and it's not used enough, and it's too fast sometimes. So we need to make this even busier, the team that's taking care of this. And that is, it's right in the top right-hand screen. Mike, I'll let you talk, but the fastest, and we label it right there. What is our fastest way of getting that support?
Partners at payprotech.com. As you started to allude to, the team that handles that and they handle our chats, that's what they do. They do not take phone calls, so they're not distracted from their online duties. And so they're quick. They are quick. I think I've gotten answers from that team. It seems like a minute. And I'm not going to promise you it's always going to be a minute, but I know they're very diligent about what they're doing, and it's a well managed system for them. Yep.
So we were trying to go through the list of different types of support that you might need. One of them, Jenny, you mentioned, was funding holds, which is one of the, it's the the not fun thing that happens in our industry, and it's always going to happen. Sometimes it's on right, sometimes it's wrong. There was a somebody fat fingered $100 transaction for 10,000, and so it held everything up, or all kinds of stuff that can go on with funding holds, and meaning you're not getting your deposit, and you want a quick reaction to that. Jenny, what do we do when someone has funding holds, when either the merchant or the partner is trying to get a hold and figure that out?
Well, and so this is where partners at PaperTech really helps. They'll go ahead and determine what line to go through, because the funding holds can come in two places. It can be an underwriting funding hold or a risk funding hold, just depending upon the nature of what is the cause. So that's where partners in PaperTech can really help. They'll go ahead and reach out to the teams at hand and determine what's going on and what needs to be needed what documents are needed or what actions are needed to have the funds released. So I would say first go to partners@papertech.com. In addition to that, you will receive an email notification for the funding hold, and it will give you specifications. So if you're like, I need to talk to somebody right now and you want to bypass partners at PaperTech, absolutely fine. There will be a contact phone number on the email where you can reach out to that department directly. And again, it'll be underwriting or risk, depending upon the nature of the funding hold, and you can reach out to them. I say the simple and easy way is to let us go to those teams for you on your behalf with partners@papertech.com, but you have options. So if you don't want to use the email, totally fine. Look at the notification that was received and call that number that's going to be on there to talk to that team directly.
At the end of the day, PaperTech, your relationship managers and the whole partner support team has the bat signal to get the things done. We can't give the bat signal away to 5,000 of our partners, but we do have it. So one of the best tips we can give you when getting support is work through the system. And the best way to get into that system is just go to partners@papertech.com, because it gets the process started really, really quick. But we also have funding holds. And Jenny, you mentioned that we have two different groups that it can come from: underwriting and risk management. And those two groups, we deal with them a lot. Mike, can you kind of walk us through when we need to work with underwriting? It may be in an application process, or underwriting and risk can interact with us in several places all the way through the journey of our merchants. How do we get a hold of them? How do we respond to emails? And even here, we have emails and phone numbers listed on our support time.
Yep.
How would you suggest getting a hold of risk and underwriting?
We have, as you mentioned, emails and telephone numbers there. When, let's say there's something that you feel, really just needs to be verbally explained, or you don't understand, or your merchant doesn't understand why it's being held, it's nice to be able to call. You will not potentially speak right to the person that's working your account, but they have a great triage group that communicates with the person. And those triage folks are smart and can work through a lot of situations. And so sometimes I think that makes people happier just to talk to somebody and get that done. Now, if it's simple, again, send the email. You're going to get a response within a few hours saying, here's what we need, or here's what we meant. And again, like Nate said, it might be underwriting, it might be risk. We deal with both of them. Risk is going to happen typically after an account is approved, and you're going to see things in holds for that reason. But again, one thing that Nate mentioned in the beginning, or Jenny said, I should say, there's an email that the merchant's going to receive. If they absorb all of the information in that email, there's a contact phone number and there's a contact email. So I always encourage people to read it all. It is a serious thing. Take your time to get them to read what's going on, because 9 times out of 10, that information is stated very clearly there, and they're going to end up taking their own time to call or email just to get the answer to the question that is already explained there.
All right. And I think the last one on my list that we wrote down, and then I'll ask if we've forgotten something or we come up something in the last couple of minutes, but is PCI, and dealing with PCI compliance. And we call it the PCI Plus team. And they also then integrate with the TrustWave team, a third party that helps us make sure we're PCI compliant. Jenny or Mike, I don't know which one. I forget which one who wants to deal with this one. Who wants to tell us how to get the help with PCI?
Just kidding.
All right.
I can speak to it.
All right,
absolutely.
perfect.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Did you want to?
No, I'm fine either way. I'm sure I can.
I'm just going to reiterate again, as we've said it a few times, the best place to start with, especially with these high-level PCI questions is going to be partners at papertech.com. They're going to be able to help guide through the different teams and what needs to happen. Typically, we have the different levels. So we have level 1 is just a survey. If they're on the level 2, that's when we get TrustWave involved. But we are happy to guide the merchant through that process and get in touch with the correct people. There is an internal team. It's going to be the PCI at nab.com. I might have that off the top of my head. I don't think that's right, but
PCI
Mike can.
Plus.
Thank you. I was like, Mike
PCI
knows
Plus.
it.
Yep.
So they can reach out to North American Bank Card directly. Happy to do that, but sometimes it's better, instead of going to North directly, just come talk to us and we'll help guide. Partners at paperprotect.com will absolutely help. We can even help determine what level they're on, if they're on the first level, the second level, and things of those nature. So we can absolutely guide within that as well.
All right, so I bring us all three on here. So what have we forgotten? Is there anything that's come to mind in the last 15 minutes as we've been putting this together? Anything that we should bring to light again for our partners before we reiterate again and again and again? Start at partners at papertech.com.
Yeah.
Anything else we've missed?
That is
Relationship managers.
First off,
Oh, yep.
relationship managers, partners at papertech.com. And remember, whether you're using, let's say you're using Paradise Point of Sale, or you're using whatever point of sale, they have their own support team as well. So be tuned in to get that. If we're using Fluid Pay or if we're using Authorize.net, they have their own support team. In some of those cases, we can be first level support. So if it's not a cut and dry question, again, that's what we're here for. This is where I get going, but that's what makes us different than a lot of other ISOs out there that deal with partners. We know, I'm not going to brag, but we know a lot of a lot of stuff, and we've all done it for years, and we're here to help you get through that. I mean, I'll be honest, we all call each other still to say, how do you do this again? What do you do with this? Each of us are really good at something, and so don't be embarrassed to call and say, hey, here's what my customer's experiencing. We get the calls all the time. So if it's not you, call us.
Yep. And I would reiterate this, that as a partner, you have a choice of how involved you are in your merchant support. And there are some of you who choose to be very little involved. But I will say the partners who have the largest portfolios that are growing month over month and year over year are those who are those who have figured out the way to be that the merchant thinks you're extremely involved and learn how to pass it off and use the support teams of PayProTech and finding the connections that go from partner at PayProTech to all the other things that we can help you find that support. And so you're not the front line of support, but the merchant thinks you are, and that continues to grow your reputation and helps you grow your business. I'm just telling you, I've been watching this for over a decade, and those partners who create that perfect medium where they're not really actually providing the support, but they know how to get a guy, they are the most successful. But if you don't want to be that level of support, we'll help you out there too. We're here any way we can. There's lots of things. I'm sure we'll do this again sometime in a year and think that, but the biggest thing is go to mypapertech.com, click on that support. There are already a couple things we're going to change on there. We're going to try to keep that as up to date as possible, and always reach out to partners at papertech.com. Jenny, you were gone last week, so I'm going to make our last Olympic. The Olympics are ending here. For those who are watching this live, we're saying goodbye to the Olympics this weekend. That's sad to me. Last week we talked a little bit about it, but now it's time for our final word. Jenny Rickle, as we go into post-Olympic August, what are we looking forward to as the kids are going back to school? Jenny?
I love what you said earlier at the beginning of this episode, back to business, right? So let's roll up our sleeves, get ready to jump on in and get going. Lots of opportunities out there. Everybody, I feel like as a whole in fall, everybody is ready to do something new, to grow. It's exciting. So go out there, offer the different solutions, call us, email partners at PaperTech. If you have any questions, we're here to help with anything that you need. And let's do it. Back to business.
Back to business. I love it a lot. And on behalf of Jenny Rickle, Mike Stetzel, I'm Nate Manahan. This has been Office Hours. We'll see you next time. Have a great time. Thanks for working with us. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
See ya.